Hello again and welcome to another tutorial video. This video will be going over the new Alarm.com webpage. Specifically, we are going to be looking at video. So, upon the initial login, of course, we are presented with the video here. We can press play to play back the most recent clips. Pause down here. We can blow up, zoom in and out, bring it up to full screen, bring it out to full screen. Over here, we can go to our live video. Click here, it gets us over. And this will also drop us into our video tab. After a brief load, things come up. At this point, if we want to bring up all our cameras, all we need to do is come up to the top here and hit View All Cameras. And after a brief load, this will pull up the main section of the videos section. This can also be accessed simply by clicking over here on the left in this tab over here, which will of course reload everything. Next up is camera group editing. This is a new feature to the Alarm.com page. All we need to do is come over here and hit Edit Group, and now we can make a group. What this does is allows us to segregate our cameras out, so we can have, say, a group of cameras that have the outside, a group of cameras that have the inside, or maybe the cameras that are the front and the cameras in the back. All we need to do is name our cameras here, so we'll call this front office. And then from here, all we do is click on the check and hit save. And now we have a new group called front office, and this has our main area front office camera in it. And to toggle between the groups, all we need to do is click here, and this will toggle between the groups. Up at the top, we have our quality, so we can hit the small to, of course, narrow everything down, make things a lot more bandwidth efficient, but of course, who can see anything? They look like ants. We can go clear up to as full quality as we can, which will of course blow everything up and make it look really nice and sharp. If we have the bandwidth to support it, hey, all the better. Back up at the top, we can access the saved video history by clicking on the saved video clips. And after a brief load, things will pop up. From here, we can access other days simply by clicking here. We get a calendar, so we can go from, let's say, about a week ago to next day. Press search. And after a little load, everything pops up. Over here, we can narrow down which cameras we're looking at, so we can look at, the sales office, the main area, or the hallway camera. Click here to play a clip. Let's see what's happening here. This one's in color. Looks like we're recording a car that was driving by. We can download this clip simply by clicking here. We have our format. Most popular is, of course, the AVI. MP4 is also a good option. MOV files aren't really supported very well other than on Macs, but AVI files are supported just about everywhere. So we hit save. It'll download it, and down here, depending on your browser, it will save wherever you saved it. We can trash the video simply by hitting the delete. We can lock the video, which will prevent it from being deleted or otherwise manipulated by clicking here on the lock. Moving right along, we'll close this. We also have different views. Right now we are in gallery view. We can go over here and switch it to list view. This will just give you a straight up list. Not exactly the most useful, but maybe quick for jumping back and see what was going on at a certain time. Most useful about this view is on the left hand side here. We can simply hit the check boxes, and then across the top here we can play, download, rename, protect or lock, or delete the clips that we have selected all at once. Makes it a little bit faster to go through and manage multiple videos. So that's it for the saved video clips. Moving right along, we have the SVR timeline. So click here. After a little bit of connect, we have our SVR timeline. So here we can hit the timeline scale. We can look at an hour, a day, or a week. We can zoom in, zoom out of the timeline, of course. Over here we have our resolution. We can say how large or how small we want it to play back. Down here we can click to jump to that particular time, Over here we have our playback speed, and of course we just press play to play it back. We're going to resize this so we can see what we're playing. And after a brief connection, this will come up. Over here we have the calendar. We can hit here and change what day we are looking at on our timeline. After a little load, that will go through. The next tab is where we take a look at our recording schedules. So click here. Here's our recording schedules. This is where we will be able to control when our cameras are recording. We can enable or disable a schedule simply by clicking on the little slider tab. So we'll disable that one, enable that one, enable this one again. To add a schedule, all we need to do is click on the Add Schedule, and then we end up with this little menu here, and we can tell the video system when we want it to record. So if we want to set up video motion detection or in-out or doorbell call recording, anything, we can set it up simply by going into here. So we're going to go through and do a demo of the most popular item, the video motion detection. Simply click here. And then we pick our camera, and then we can pick our time frames. So if we wanted to do it at a specific time or at all times, and we can here edit our home settings. Our home settings are used to save our clips. So if we're at home, we don't want to record, we just simply click on here and on here, or we can even do it by GeoDevice, which would be our phones. And here, and when we are done, we just click on Save Schedule. And that will save the schedule. This did not save, obviously, because we currently have an existing schedule that conflicts with it. We can also add recipients simply by clicking over here and picking the people or devices we want to send notifications to. Go ahead and close that. Cancel out of here. Over here, we can check on how much we have uploaded. If we click here, we can see our storage is at 46%. So we are about halfway through our storage for the month. So we may want to tone things back a little bit. Go ahead and close that. And finally, we have our settings tab. Most of the time we won't have much to do over here, but just by way of completion, we can show where everything is. So we got our main area, camera, we can look at what's going on with the device, video, we can change what our live video settings are, we can optimize for clarity or highest resolution or speed if that is a problem. Save. Go back to our overview. Down here we can change how the picture looks. We can increase the brightness, the contrast, or the color saturation. Change how sensitive it is to switching into night vision mode. Come back up to our overview. We can change settings for the save video. We can increase our resolution for our save video. We can make our image quality reduced, which will shrink the recorded size, or we can make it the highest, which will of course make it the biggest. Frame rates, how many frames per second, limit the number of days. We have all kinds of options here. Hit save. And we can come back up and go back to the overview. Video motion detection. This is where we determine how the cameras will actually record upon seeing motion. After a brief wait, that pops up. And then of course, going back to our overview, we can add a video device or edit the wireless settings. These are more installer level features, so we don't really need to mess with these. So in a nutshell, this is the new video section. We covered looking at the video, all the options for looking at the video. We covered looking at save video clips. We covered looking at SVR timelines, and of course looking at our schedules and our device settings. Come back again to check out some of our other videos on how to better manage our alarm systems and our home automation.